I was thinking, what is this thing just in the entrance? I thought someone put like a log there blocking it for anyone to get in, because the sun had almost gone down, like it was very dark on campus. As I got closer, I realised one of our hedgehogs, she's called Spot, she'd actually fallen to sleep at the entrance of the feeding station. When looking back on the cameras, you could actually see she'd been in the feeding station for half an hour, so she must have been absolutely guzzling herself silly on food, and then she just ended up in a little food coma, so I had to take a mini nap. And I think I probably sat there for half an hour just watching her, and just, yeah, it was incredible just to have that moment of it's just you and the hedgehog. My name's Lyndon and I'm part of the Hedgehog Friendly Campus project here at the University of Chester, and I'm one of our project coordinators. I think even from when I was like about 6 years old, me and my friends used to go into the woods, build dens, and we'd start building like little habitats. We'd like, oh, maybe a frog could live here, maybe like something else. And I think I was probably about 9 when me and my friends started taking it more seriously. And we'd gone into the woods and we'd heard a sound which we knew was like a red deer because they're common in our area. So we started following footprints that were like trodden into the ground to try and see if we could find it. And it took us about 3 hours to probably locate it. And then when we found the deer, we just laid down and we're just in this open patch of like just wild garlic. And yeah, there was just something amazing about it, and being in that moment and like being that close to nature, it really inspired me to like continue down that passion. So coming to an urban environment was definitely, yeah, it was a big difference. I think in my first year at uni, the only wild animal other than pigeons that I actually saw, and magpies, was probably a garden rat. So to go from seeing like badgers and foxes to seeing rats was, yeah, definitely a bit of a change to the system. And I think after my first year, I sort of came to the understanding, like, if I want to find these wild animals, I'm going to have to find unique and different ways to locate it and like find these wild pockets around the city. With our project, we've done things from like building bug hotels, we've built hedgehog houses, and it's like in the past 12 months we went from having 3 sightings of hedgehogs to now having hundreds of sightings. My favourite example is probably when I got to see the baby hedgehogs on camera for the first time, and it's that moment, it's like, oh my gosh, what we're doing is making like such a difference, because it's great to see them and see that they're coming and eating, but it's not until you actually see either offspring or see them actually going into the houses and staying in the houses that you're like, okay, they're actually utilising what we've got here.
I was part of setting up the camera traps on campus last year, and the camera trap that I was setting up had caught quite a lot of hedgehogs, foxes.
Well, I know that we do have a lot of hedgehogs, but I know there's an incident with a badger that actually did break into the hedgehog tunnel, so that stole the food.
And I also participated in some litter picks last year to like help clean up the environment to make it safer.
We recently did footprint tunnel surveys just in this area actually, and that involved monitoring the presence of hedgehogs in different areas. So we set it up in front of the camera traps in this area, and this can basically give us an idea of like the areas they're found in, if they're coming and travelling for foraging for food, and obviously we get very cool tracks on the sheets that we collect, so that's a bonus. Well, I think I was motivated just for volunteering for the community and really getting involved with what's on campus, because obviously there's a lot of initiatives that's been introduced by Lyndon and the Hedgehog Friendly Campus to improve the habitat. I just think that really, from a conservationist perspective, kind of lured me in to come help out and join.
And you don't often find opportunities to connect with people outside of class or outside of university. So I think that's the benefit of our project, is it's allowing people the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals, but everyone's from so many different walks of life that they get to see the different perspectives. So to think we went from 20 volunteers to now having over 150 is absolutely incredible, and it's making me realise that what we're doing is making a big difference, not just for the wildlife, but also for the student life here as well. As part of the Networks for Nature and Wildlife Champions, I think the big part for myself for getting Hedgehog Project involved with this was making sure that we have connections outside of the university. I think it's provided opportunities which I wouldn't naturally be able to locate or be able to find in like just a student setting. And I think we've even had some of our students who've actually been able to go out and help with certain projects in the area, and some of our students went, participated and actually helped that local group. And I think if we weren't a part of those connections, we wouldn't have even known that group existed. You're learning a variety of different skills which you wouldn't learn as a student. And it's giving you opportunities which you probably would never have had otherwise. And while you're a student, you have a lot of flexibility in like your calendar, like you do have this free time. So it makes sense to sort of like seize the opportunities as they come and make the most of it. In some cases, some of the skills we're going to learn, we can bring back to campus and actually utilise here. So it's going to benefit our biodiversity even more. There's nothing like it when you're just sat down, like here, in the middle of the forest, and all you can hear is like the sounds of birds or like little insects, and just seeing like all the creepy crawlies and like all the wild animals. Yeah, there's just something oddly relaxing about it, because in that moment, it's like nothing else is happening around you in the world, and you can just sort of forget what's happening. So it just makes you feel relaxed and just in that present.